Anticipate some information here from her shortly.
Sure.
Yes, ma'am.
We have some information in regards to $100,000.
No, ma'am, I do not. Now, here you go. Just let me back up a little bit. There's a lot of information I do know, okay? But it's an ongoing investigation, and when I say I do not know, I may know. But as you can imagine, in a criminal investigation, we want to ensure the continued safety of our community and that all those questions are answered. And I assure you, this investigation is not ended with the demise of Mr. Paddock.
Sure. Can I ask you a
Yes.
question here? Could you give us an update, if there is an update, on the victims and the injuries? And also, is there anything new? The key question we've all been wondering about, are you making any progress, whether you're able to give specifics or not, are you making any progress on determining a motive?
No, I'll answer your last question first. No. We are making progress, but I don't have complete answers yet. So I anticipate a substantial amount of information to come in the next 48 hours. Hold on, let me finish the rest of this. As far as the injuries, you know, it goes across the board. The coroner commented on that yesterday. We have trampled injuries. We have people trying to escape, injuries of their own device. We have gunshot wounds. So if you're looking at total type of injuries associated with all their injuries and the people that died, it goes across the board. I can't give you a percentage associated with gunshot versus other types of injuries.
Are the numbers, though, the general numbers, 59, 525, have those changed or are they the same?
We believe the injury number has decreased slightly. And when I say slightly, maybe 20, because we had a double count error occurring at one of the hospitals.
And the death?
But we're looking close and still in close proximity of the number I provided you.
Are the non-local vehicles for whereabouts spoken to her directly already?
I can't tell you her current whereabouts right now. All I know is the Philippines, and we are in conversation.
Do you know what she's current? Is she a suspect?
Currently, she's a person of interest.
Sheriff?
The girlfriend. Yes.
Sheriff?
Yes, ma'am.
The Daily Mail has released photos that show the hotel room after the SWAT team entered, and it shows guns and ammunition inside. Many outlets are re-disseminating. Can you verify the legitimacy of these photos, and should any other outlets disseminate them?
I can't verify whether they're legitimate or not. What I can tell you is I'm very troubled by it. We have an internal investigation occurring as we speak on how those photographs were obtained by the public forum.
Can you talk then to what was found inside that hotel room that the gunman used? Specifically, CBS News is reporting that there was a camera inside that room. Was the gunman recording? Was the gunman transmitting that video anywhere else?
I'm not aware of any transmission, but there was cameras. There was cameras located outside of the room and inside of the room, along with the firearms.
And he had set up how many cameras?
I don't know what the specific numbers do, you know. Well, I anticipate he was looking for anybody coming to take him into custody.
So essentially, you have a recording of him carrying out this carnage?
No, that's not essentially what I'm saying. That is being evaluated. The FBI took all digital and electronic evidence into custody, and we are evaluating.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
Do we know if this man was targeting this particular event, or did he have in mind perhaps another music event that would be coming up in the Las Vegas area as a possible target? Have you developed any evidence?
No, we haven't developed that yet.
So
I will provide you that information at a later date.
To follow on that, there's a report that he may have intended to target the United Beautiful concert.
We're unable to confirm that.
The week before.
We're unable to confirm that.
Sir, I have a question about the 72 minutes that transpired. We're just trying to get clarity as to, one thing for 17 minutes that the SWAT team was shooting to the hotel room. And when the shots were reported to the time when they entered the hotel room and then really doing, can you give us a little more specifics about
What's the clarity? What's the clarity you're seeking?
Specifics as to how it went down, what time the shots rang out, what time you guys got the call, when
We received a call at 10:08 p.m. The best of our estimates and video review, he continued to fire at a progressive successive rate for approximately 9 minutes. As you can see by any video you see in the public space, it was hard to determine where they were coming from. Once it was evaluated, it was coming from the Mandalay Bay. As you can imagine how hard it would be to pinpoint the room from the outside. Officers subsequently teamed up and moved over to the Mandalay Bay in order to locate and engage. But that was in conjunction with the Mandalay Bay security. Now this is an opportunity for me to tell you something. The Mandalay Bay security was fantastic. I don't want anybody assuming that they are unsafe by, staying at one of our hotels. We would not have engaged this individual in the time lapse that we did without their assistance. We received information via their dispatch center and or their operations center, their call center, from individuals staying within the Mandalay Bay that helped us locate where this individual was sequestered. Hold on, I want to finish her question. All right, and so subsequently that takes time. As you can imagine, moving from the location of the event, deciding whether you're going to help victims evacuate or you're going to decide whether you're going to take charge and put an element together and go engage this individual. So we have a lot of bifurcation of responsibilities associated, especially in a dynamic event. I want to say kudos to those officers that got together and said, this is what we trained for, active shooter, we're putting an element together, let's go engage this individual and locate them. Okay, and that's what we did. And when the security officer was engaged by the suspect, we backed off for immediate apprehension and SWAT team formed and made entry.
What time was the security officer engaged?
I don't have that time for you.
Sheriff, how concerned are you about your officers facing weapons like these?
Absolutely concerned. The world has changed, and who would have ever imagined this situation? I couldn't imagine it, and for this individual to take it upon himself to create this chaos and harm is unspeakable. And we have to try to spitball or what if these situations at all points when we train and ensure that we have proper response, and I think we did a fantastic job.
So Sheriff, Mandalay Bay Security identified the room before SWAT arrived?
No. Well, yeah, before SWAT arrived, but not before my officers arrived. They were married or hand-to-hand with my officers when we made entry over to the hotel. And it was a matter, if you recall yesterday, I said between floor 29 and 32. And during that process of evaluating the floors, we received additional information where he was located, and they immediately responded.
Sheriff, what time did SWAT breach?
I don't have that number for you.
And there's only one room.
Did they continue to shoot from 10:08 until the SWAT team came in, or why did they stop shooting?
That's for us to evaluate in the investigation.
Sure.
Were the bodies of them being scattered throughout the venue, or were they in one particular area?
No, they were throughout the venue. They even had some victims that met their demise outside of the venue. And then we had individuals who had been shot and they continued to run away, and then they passed away several blocks from the venue.
Sure.
We also had very heroic acts of people attending the event. We have numerous videos depicting people attending, normal citizens providing medical aid and providing transportation for victims to get to the hospital.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
Going back to the point that my colleague said on the camera that was set up in the room. Sounds, at least, I'm sorry if I'm interpreting this wrongly. It sounds like he had set those cameras up to give himself warning on the approach of police officers.
You know,
In your mind, if that indeed was the case, and I know you don't want to get into the mind of a madman, but how would you judge this man's preparation and determination to do this based on the fact?
I don't even need that bit of information to make a judgment. This individual is premeditated, obviously premeditated. The fact that he had the type of weaponry and amount of weaponry in that room, it was pre-planned extensively, and I'm pretty sure he evaluated everything that he did in his actions, which is troublesome. I was hoping You know, I pray that in these situations that a citizen, because we can't be at all places at all times, that a citizen sees something, says something, and we act on that. Quite often what we experience in our line of work, a citizen thinks it's trivial, and they say, no, I don't want to bother the police. We ask you to bother the police, because those individuals, especially housekeeping type individuals, or any cab drivers, anybody in the public space that can assist us, we ask them to come forward.
Do you believe his girlfriend had any knowledge?
Okay, let me ask back here, Ricardo.
Police or security guards fire any shots anytime during the encounter?
While he was discharging his weapons, we are not aware of that. No security guard or police other than the encounter at the room.
And can you expand on what went right? I know you practiced in scenarios like this, maybe not exactly this scenario. Can you expand on what went right with first responders?
You know what, I'm glad you asked that, Ricardo, because obviously people have the assumption things went wrong in this type of carnage. But what went right is we saved hundreds of lives. In an event, and this guy having the ability with those weaponry, the carnage that could occur outside of what did occur, a lot more was prevented because of our police action in short time and private security action in short time to save some lives.
Sure, could I ask you,
With all of this in the room, the cameras now, the guns, everything else, yesterday you had said that there had been hotel staff inside that room during the stay. Is that still believed? Did he turn away housekeeping? Did housekeeping go in there during this time?
The only thing I know at this point is room service was provided.
Sheriff, could I ask you, on the motive, and I'm sorry, I just want to clarify, do you believe you are going to find the motive for this crime?
I absolutely believe that. Yes, I do.
Why is FBI not trying to bring it back to you?
How do you know that's not occurring?
I guess that's what I'm asking. Is that what's happening?
That is occurring.
Sheriff, on the
Yes, ma'am.
You all have been investigating this nonstop for the last couple of days. How are you and your investigators?
I'm so glad you asked that. No, I am. I'm not being sarcastic. We're doing good. I'm actually very proud of our people. I mean, this guy here is the local SAC, Aaron Rouse, in charge of the FBI. You know, it's important. Greg Castle talked about this yesterday, the chief of the Clark County Fire Department. I'm telling you right now, this jurisdiction has the best partnerships, I believe, in the United States.
Went a little bit on the nasty side. Governor, he's been amazing. Your congresswoman has been absolutely amazing, and the people. I met your state senators and lots of other people, and they've been so thankful. And I think virtually every mayor has been so thankful. I've met many of them this morning, the job we've done. And it's the job of the Navy and the Army and the Air Force, the Marines, the whole thing. I mean, it's incredible. The U.S. Coast Guard, what they've done. I mean, the lives that they've saved is so. The people are really very thankful.
Battered by two historic storms that wiped out a power grid that was already antiquated, poorly maintained, corruptly managed. What do? You had the Marshall Plan rebuilt Europe after World War II. Will we see a Trump plan to rebuild this poor island?
Well, we're going to help the people. You know, look, this had a lot of problems and a lot of debt. They had $72 billion in debt before the hurricanes hit. And they had a power plant that didn't work before the hurricane. So we're going to help them. We're going to do something, and we're going to get it back on its feet. But I'm just very, very proud of the fact that, you know, if you look at just one statistic, 16 deaths. That's a lot of deaths, far too many deaths. But 16, if you look at Katrina, they had in the thousands. And this was a storm the likes of which nobody has ever seen. And, you know, we had FEMA here before the storm even came. They were on the island during the storm, and they were on the island before the first storm. You got hit by 2 hurricanes. So we're very proud of the job we've done, very, very proud. And now we'll have to try and get them back. The power is slowly getting on, and the roads are open, the runways are open. So it's these people that you've met today, all of the different people, first responders, these are incredible people.
I totally agree, and it's been so impressive to see the message to the Puerto Rican people, though. To what extent do you commit to help rebuild this battered place?
Well, we're going to work something out. We have to look at their whole debt structure. You know, they owe a lot of money to your friends on Wall Street, and we're going to have to wipe that out. That's going to have to be, you can say goodbye to that. I don't know if it's Goldman Sachs, but whoever it is, you can wave goodbye to that. We have to do something about, because the debt was massive on the island. And
my Aunt Ellie doesn't care about that. She wants some help, and so she wants to hear from you.
we are going to help the people out. We're going to get the electric going again. That was a complete wipeout. That wasn't like a couple of poles came down. That was generating plants. That was a lot of very valuable equipment. But it was equipment in bad shape, but we're going to put it in good shape.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Earl. You've been a great friend. Thank you.
All right, now live with more, with this exclusive interview with the president of Puerto Rico, our friend, Fox News correspondent at large, Geraldo Rivera. Geraldo, here's my main question for you. There are 15,000 people on the ground between the military and FEMA and all these government workers. They pre-positioned food, water, medicine, supplies. The Navy was there. We got top military commanders from Afghanistan and Iraq there. I mean, pretty unbelievable stuff. By the way, I like my hairdo. And the attack by only one mayor got picked up by everybody, and it wasn't true. What did the president say about that?
He obviously is hurt by that. It is very frustrating. I have to add one melancholy note, though, Sean. We heard just minutes before we went on the air that the official death toll has risen from 16 to 34, and that is tragic. What I would just like people to understand is blame Hurricane Maria for those deaths. Don't blame President Trump. He really is trying. It is a very frustrating endeavor. The supply chain in Puerto Rico, it's 1,000 miles away. It's a very difficult and logistically challenging operation, and you are dealing with a dysfunctional government that really gave bad information to FEMA to begin with. The power plants, for example, are not damaged. It is the power lines that are down. I think that we'll get this done. And the president going there today, I think, was really important.
Geraldo, I'm really proud of you. You were on the ground for, I think 7, 8, 9 days. I promised you on Twitter I'm going to match you dollar for dollar.
10, 11 days.
Oh, all right. I'm sorry I don't, but I was watching you. I'm proud of you. I'll match you dollar for dollar. Samaritan's Purse, whatever you like, done. And congratulations on the exclusive with the president. Thank you for sharing it with us. We appreciate it.
All right, thanks.
All right, joining us now live on the ground in Vegas, 3 friends of mine, recording artist Kaya Jones. She was on the stage just 1 hour with Big and Rich just before the massacre. Also with us, Fox News legal analyst, our friend Bob Massey, and the national spokesperson for CORE and conservative commentator Niger Innis. We all saw this video. I actually played it earlier in the show. This is 1 hour and 10 minutes.